In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Frustration is mounting and anger is growing with the liberals and passive politicians. Learn the playbook of those who are trying to destroy our country. From the blue-collar professor, he teaches, he leads, he speaks out for truth and justice. Now, the educator of all things conservative, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the program. So glad you found us. I am Gavin Mitchell. Just got done recording the Conservative Cartel with my good buddy Matlock from the Matlock Show, and I'm going to tell you the exact same thing I told him. The game of baseball is great for a number of reasons. It's America's pastime. I mean, for so many reasons. Kids grow up going to ball games with their parents, with their friends, whatever. You're able to play it in the backyard with just a stick and a rock if you want to. The game of baseball is fantastic. But the reason it's so great to me, and the reason that I am such a fan, is because in the game of baseball, you can't take a knee and run out the clock. You can't pass it around the perimeter and that four corners offense to run out the clock. You can't pass the puck around. In the game of baseball, you have to go right at your opponent, and you have no choice but to get 3 outs an inning for 8 or 9 innings, depending on if you're the home or the visiting team. You have to get those 27 outs. There's no dodging. There's no running at the clock. You have to beat the other guy until the game's over. That's why baseball's awesome. That's why it's fantastic. Now, why do I bring that up? Because I am not a fan of running out the clock. I'd much rather see a full game worth of action. I don't want to see 3.5 quarters. I don't want to see 2.5 periods. I want to see a full ball game. I want these athletes to get paid all this money to compete the entire time I'm there. Otherwise, I want part of my money back for my ticket because I didn't get a whole game. Well, why do you bring that up, Gavin? Here is why I bring that up. I bring it up because the dots are finally connected with Hillary Clinton. We now understand what is going on. The health issue speculation, the not talking to reporters speculation, all of that. We've got a clear picture now. Hillary Clinton set up that homebrew server. And she had the opportunity to utilize the State Department email address and their server and their firewall. She wouldn't have had to turn over anything because it would have all been there in the government collection. It would have been simple. That would have been the easy way to go. But she chose to set up what they call the homebrewed server in her bathroom at her home there in New York. Why? Why would you go through all that trouble? Why would you potentially put national security at risk? Why would you make information that is confidential and classified available to hackers. Why would you do that? What is the motivation? Well, we got to push pause there, and we've got to turn over the other conspiracy that's running around with Hillary Clinton. The fact that they went from zero to $240 million worth of net worth in such a short period of time. It is very hard to make that kind of money that quickly unless you're doing something illegally. But there have been a lot of stories that money came in, and they're not stories, they're fact. We can trace this money in from the Saudis, in from other Islamic states. We have these incredibly outrageously priced speeches that are out there that nobody gets paid that kind of money to speak. Not even former presidents. What was going on? Well, we know now when you put it all together that homebrewed server was there to keep the people, to keep the government from finding out that they were, in fact, trading favors from the State Department in return for payment to the Clinton Foundation. And it's not because Hillary Clinton's this overly charitable individual that she wanted to save the world, because only 6 to 10 cents of every dollar goes to some sort of project, and that's if there's even a project. The other 90+% goes straight in their pockets. The dots have been connected. We get it now. It is incredibly clear as to what has happened here. And you have dishonest people like the Clintons. And keep in mind, Bill Clinton's the only president to ever be impeached, and he did it for lying. Hillary Clinton constantly lies. She's been caught with her pants down, figuratively, not literally, so many times it's disgusting. But we have the evidence we need now to put all of this together. And do you remember those 30,000 emails that were deleted, were never found, that Comey said, well, I don't know if they were deleted or if they were lost in the change of servers, whatever. What do you think those were about? What do you think was going on? Hillary Clinton was selling the services of the United States of America for personal profit. She was for sale. It was a pay for play. We have the evidence now. It's all been put together. Over 150 times were there messages left from the Clinton Foundation to one of Hillary Clinton's top aides. We know that much. And what is the piece of the puzzle that made all of this come together? Hillary Clinton's calendars that were supposed to be scrubbed had been released. And in the sample of time, and the Clinton camp is saying, well, that's just a sample, that doesn't extrapolate into her entire tenure as Secretary of State. Yeah, it doesn't. But during this time, she took 140-something meetings. Over 50% of those meetings were with people that were major donors to the Clinton Foundation. That number is way too high to be a coincidence. Way too high. Moreover, anything you do as in your role as a government official, as Secretary of State, has to be public domain. If you hop on the government airliner and you fly over to Saudi Arabia to talk something legitimate, maybe oil, maybe you're talking about Iraq, whatever, you have to disclose everything there. You're doing it on behalf of the people of the United States. And remember, this is a government for the people and by the people. The government belongs to us, not the other way around. They have no right to keep that stuff confidential. They can if there are national security issues, but just general itineraries that don't compromise anything going on, they have to turn that over. And when we caught wind of that, at least for me, all the dominoes began to fall. The fog began to lift. And I realized what was going on. Hillary Clinton's probably not sick. Hillary Clinton has avoided the press. And when I say avoided the press, I don't mean in controlled one-on-one interviews where her campaign can vet the questions and say, we're not talking about that. We can talk about this, but you have to ask it that way. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about a free-for-all press conference where any reporter can ask any question they want to. There is a reason they have kept her out of that spotlight. There is a reason she is not making the appearances that Donald Trump is making. And the Clinton campaign and the left will tell you, well, it's because we're just going to let Donald Trump hang himself. No. That's not it at all. The fact of the matter is you have things to hide. You have things you don't want people to find out. And Hillary Clinton came off, and this was played so well by them. I give them credit. It was done in a great manner because she came out early in this campaign and said, look, I'm not the campaigner. I'm not the great orator my husband is or Barack Obama is. Campaigning comes easy to me. It's a little more, or to them, it's a little more difficult for me to do. And so we all thought, well, maybe she's sick. Or maybe they're keeping her away from the press because, they don't want to talk about Benghazi or the indictment. No, it's because there is a real and serious link here between the Clinton Foundation and them collecting all of these millions of dollars. And her time as Secretary of State, she was brokering America's goods and services for her own benefit. This is criminal to the nth degree. And those of you who support Hillary Clinton, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me she cares for this country. She's what's best. She has a price tag on the United States. If somebody comes along with the right dollar amount, she will sell it. She's proven it. And they did it under the guise of Bill Clinton giving speeches and her giving speeches and charitable donations. It's a bunch of crap. It's a whole boatload of crap. And then Bill has the audacity to say, well, I'm going to kind of step away from the Clinton Foundation. And if Hillary becomes president, we're not going to take any more donations from countries or it's going to be individuals only. That's what we're going to do. Well, Bill, if that's the case, why was it not the case when she was Secretary of State? The answer's simple. They had to amass their fortune. They had to make sure they were set for life. They had to make sure that their daughter and their grandkids were squared away. And they've done a fabulous job of it. They're worth a boatload of money. They're worth enough money that 2 generations probably can't run through that unless they just go hog wild. Mission accomplished. But you're going to tell me somebody that is willing to sell America at this price, in this way, in that role, is who you want leading this country? That makes no sense at all. You cannot look me in the eye and say, she cares for me. She's going to fight for me. No, she's not. She has made it incredibly clear, and the Democratic Party has made it incredibly clear. They don't care about any of us. They care about getting the votes to put them in power, and once they're in power, they care about making money. I've been screaming this since show number 1 here on the Gavin Mitchell Show. That is the go-to play for the liberal left. That's how it works. And we have these different tools. We have the hierarchy of victims. We have that piece. We have the socialistic suppression. We have that piece. They've got all these tools to implement their game plan, but that's it. And if you don't believe me, you just have to look at Hillary Clinton in this situation. This encompasses and puts in perspective exactly what they're trying to do. And so let me ask you this. With everything Barack Obama has done and Hillary Clinton to come in after, Barack Obama set the table. Now here comes Hillary Clinton, who's not interested in advancing ideology. She couldn't care if we're socialist, capitalist, She doesn't care about any of that. She cares about getting rich, but Barack Obama set it up to where that's easy. We now have conversations with Iran because we have some deal locked in a basement somewhere on Capitol Hill. We now have avenues into Cuba and socialistic empires, if you will. We deal with the EU. She brought the reset button to Russia. She has all these opportunities and all these relationships that her husband built once he got out of office to tap into, to maybe sell arms or airplanes or boats or favors or access or whatever it is they need at a price, and a price that doesn't come back to America, a price that goes straight to her pocket through the Clinton crime family charity. That's how this whole thing works. And when you shook the magic 8 ball, all signs pointed to yes, but there wasn't that piece to link it all together until we got a glimpse of her calendar. And then she has the audacity to stand up on the stump and say, I'm for you. I'm for the hardworking people of this country. We're going to do this for the women. We're going to do this for the minorities. We're going to do this for the LGBT community. I don't know how many more people have to get up and scream to say they don't care about you. Now, the left dismisses all of this. If you're a diehard Democrat, you're dismissing all of this as rhetoric from the right. It's all conspiracy theory. It's all made up. So that we can get our guys in there, so we can glamorize a gun culture and we can force Christianity down the throats of everybody. That's what they think. They refuse to look at the evidence. They refuse to look at the facts. And I've experienced it more than once. If you present a set of facts to a diehard liberal, I mean, irrefutable facts, if you put it right in front of their face, their response is name calling. They'll dismiss the facts. They can't counter with their own facts. They can't counter with their own truths because there are none to counter it. When it comes to Hillary Clinton and the liberal movement that is trying very hard to bring this country down from the inside, there's only one truth. And that's that the Republicans are right-wing, Bible-beating bigots. And they're not for you, they're racist. That's the only truth they believe in. That's the only truth they understand. That's the only truth they're willing to promote. But now, with this evidence, if you were on the fence, there's no way to look but to the right. They've tried to stick things to Donald Trump. They've called him a racist. I'm telling you, I have yet to hear anything racist come out of his mouth. And I've been listening. They say he's racist because they don't have anything else to stick to him. They tried to get him as a womanizer, but all the women they said were abused came up and said that's not true. They tried to get him on business practices, but that didn't stick. They've tried to get him on everything, and all they have is a subjective insult. He's racist. He's not racist. Calling somebody a Mexican if they are from Mexico is not a racist insult. It's a fact. It's no different than calling me an American or me a Texan. But the left will twist it into that. You bet they will. And so the final dominoes falls for me. Hillary Clinton, while I knew it in my heart of hearts, I didn't have the evidence yet. I have it now. Hillary Clinton is a criminal. And I don't use that term lightly, but she is a criminal. The whole email scandal about the Espionage Act and gross negligence, that is what it is. Politics got involved, nothing happened. But she is selling America to the highest bidder. That has to mean something.
The Gavin Mitchell Show. Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe 10 grand or more in credit card bills. And you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe 10 grand or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. Boy, I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the Tax Doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the Tax Doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you are looking to come in contact with the show, you can find us on the World Wide Web, thegavinmitchellshow.com. You are welcome to email me anytime you would like, Gavin@thegavinmitchellshow.com. I promise you I read each and every one of those, and I respond to as many as I possibly can. And for all the kind words that have come across, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled that you on the other side of the radio listen, that you're intrigued and you care about this country enough to have a dialogue, whether it's with me or somebody else. I'm very grateful. And then you can find us on Twitter @TheGM Show, where we do a lot of sarcastic and kind of lighthearted stuff. We have some off the cuff responses, and sometimes we're not so tactful, but that's where we kind of take a lighter approach to what we're doing. and we're quick to call people out there. So those are the places you can find us. Now, Donald Trump is out and about doing what he needs to do. He was actually in Fort Worth, Texas Tuesday, and he stopped here to raise a little money. Went and found the folks with the deep pockets, raised a little money. Then it was on to Austin, Texas, where he had a rally, a town hall meeting with Sean Hannity, and it aired on the Hannity TV program on Fox News. Now, there are a lot of people that are responding to this. Now, do you remember what propelled Donald Trump to center stage of the debates? What sent him soaring? It was this whole idea that we have an illegal immigration problem, that Mexico is sending us not their best and brightest, but they're sending us their criminals. And I think he said rapists, murderers, drug dealers. And part of that is true. It's not completely true, but part of it is true. And he said, we're going to build a wall, and it's going to be a great wall, and it's going to be a big wall, but it's going to have a door in it. And people loved it because there are hardworking Americans out there that have to compete with people that shouldn't even be here according to the law, that have their kids competing with people that shouldn't even be here for education, for scholarships. There are people, Americans, killed in their own home city, like Kate Steinle. The list goes on and on. They shouldn't even be here. And I'm going to tell you a little firsthand story. I work construction. And the other day I saw a guy, he was a white guy, and he was working with all Spanish-speaking Mexican men, which is fine. I was talking to the guy that hired him. He said, you know what? I got that guy for $10 an hour. I said, what? The white guy was out working all of them. He was out working all of them. And I said, $10 an hour? He goes, yeah, he needed the work bad. He needed the work real bad. He lost his job, couldn't find anything else, and he just needed to put food on the table. He goes, but the market said he's only worth $10 an hour because I can quote, this isn't me speaking, quote, I can get a Mexican to do it for $10 an hour, so why would I pay him more? I thought to myself, you got to be kidding me, but that's what happens. Because what will happen, and this is from experience, you can call me racist, you can call me what you want. Not everybody that comes across the border is looking to do this. Some just really want an opportunity, and they either don't know or the system is too bogged down to do it the legal way. I get that. I do. After speaking with Loretta Powers, she has her show after mine on KLIF on Saturday nights. She is an immigration attorney. At least that's part of what she does. She said that the wait could be up to 17 years for people to do this correctly. Now, that needs to be fixed, right? But there are a small group of people who will come to America, dip in the honey pot, and take it home and live well. So what will happen is they'll come over, 4, 5, 6 of them. They'll get a small one-bedroom apartment. They'll sleep on air mattresses, and they'll go to work. It costs them $100 a month to live. And they send the rest home, stockpiling it, saving it. So after 5 or 6 years, they'll go back home, and they'll live like a king. And hats off to them for figuring out this little deal. I'm not mad at them for that. What I'm mad at is that they've done it illegally. And we're either a country of laws or we're not. It's that simple. So to bring this full circle, the market dictates that this guy with a family, with a mortgage to pay, trying to keep the lights on, his kids are going back to school, is making $10 an hour. Do the math. You take home like $8.12 after taxes. Try paying your bills on that. And this isn't a stump speech to raise the minimum wage. That's not what this is. But this is a testimony to the fact that the market is driven down by illegal aliens out there working. And so we do need reform. And Donald Trump was for it. And that's why it resonated with so many Americans, because there are so many hardworking people out there that are being undercut by people who shouldn't even be here. It was something they wanted to hear. But along the way, Ted Cruz said, and I heard the reports, There are reports out there that you had an interview with a New York Times writer, and that there is video or audio out there saying that this whole idea of the wall and things like that was just rhetoric. It was never going to happen. Now, and this is what Ted Cruz said. Don't be so quick to dismiss it, those of you on the Trump train, because you have this grudge you're holding on to for Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is done. He's in the past. Y'all need to let go of that. But what Ted Cruz said is, look, if you said it, the people need to know. But if you didn't say it, release the tape so we can put this to bed. But Donald Trump wouldn't release the tapes. And he wouldn't release the tapes because he just wasn't going to cave to Ted Cruz calling him out. That's what that was about. I don't know what's on the tapes. I don't even know if there are tapes. But it put a little doubt in some people's mind. Well, what if that's true? So last night on Hannity, they were talking immigration. And they were talking about some of the immigration law and his stance. And this is what Donald Trump said. There could certainly be a softening because we're not looking to hurt people. We want people. We have some great people in this country. He went on to say, we want to follow the laws. We have very strong laws in this country. And, Bush and even Obama sends people back. Now we can be more aggressive on that, but we want to follow the laws. If you start going around trying to make new laws in this country, it's a process that's brutal. We want to follow the laws of the country. And if we follow the laws, we can do what we have to do. So you have somebody who's been in the country 20 years, has done a great job in everything else. Do we want to take him and the family and her and him or whatever and send them out? And a lot of people are saying that's Donald Trump walking it back. I don't know if it is as so much as him softening his tone. And those are two very different things. I don't know the answer. Only time's going to tell which way that goes. But I will tell you this. To deport everybody that's here illegally, that's not a reality, right? We don't have the money or the time or the resources to do that. But something has to be done because hardworking people that were born in this country are having to compete with people who broke the law to get here. And that's just not on the up and up. That's not okay. Not even close. So we'll see what Donald Trump does on this policy. We'll see if he's backpedaling, if there's still going to be a wall. He swore up and down there was still going to be a wall, and everybody that denied it, just every time he hears it, it just gets taller and taller. So that's that policy. There's been criticism about him and his foreign policy. Well, it can't be any worse than this president's, and we have more resulting from this president's policy in ways that aren't good for the United States. We'll talk about it next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
Are you getting squeezed by the economic downturn? Hey, you were doing fine. Then, all of a sudden, you're having a tough time paying your family's credit card bills. Maybe you were downsized or even lost a job, but you still owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills. And you just can't afford the minimum payments anymore. We're here to help. We are the Genesis Debt Partners. We know the secrets to negotiate better terms with your creditors. Make a free 10-minute call right now and learn how we can help you get out of debt. 800-807-9767. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt and you want to learn how you can pay less and get out of debt faster, call right now. 800-807-9767. 800-807-9767. Get out of debt now. 800-807-9767.
Hey everybody, your pal Gavin Mitchell here from my friends at Texas Elite Landscape. We all have that embarrassing spot in our yard we just can't seem to get grass to grow. Or perhaps you're tired of pumping hundreds and thousands of dollars into your yard just to get it to turn green when the weather warms up. Or maybe the constant maintenance is just too much to bear. Well, my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping are the most respected synthetic grass installation specialist in North Texas. Locally owned and operated, they have installed over 1 million square feet of the highest quality grass made right here in the USA. And I know what you're thinking. Is it pet and child friendly? You bet it is. So whether you want your yard looking picture perfect year round, no matter what the season is, or perhaps you'd like a putting green in the backyard to keep your husband home on Saturdays, Give my friends at Texas Elite Landscaping a call today. 214-298-7726. That's 214-298-7726. Or find them at TexasEliteLandscaping.com.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-824-3301. 800-824-3301. That's 800-824-3301. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Boy, man, I had a rough night's sleep. I got a letter from the IRS yesterday, and I just couldn't sleep. Man, I'm dying here. Somebody help me.
IRS problems affect more than just your finances. If you're ready to take back control of your life and you owe more than $10,000, you need to call the tax doctor. Their expert staff can immediately protect you from the IRS and state collectors and get you the best possible tax settlement guaranteed. The IRS has recently released new programs geared in helping struggling taxpayers, where you may qualify to settle your tax debt and wipe out up to 85% or more of what you currently owe. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call the tax doctor right now. See if you qualify to pay less. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. Again, 800-631-9123.
Hey, liberals, try rooting for your own country for a change. Our blue-collar educator of all things common sense does. Now, back to the Gavin Mitchell Show.
If you are looking for the program throughout the week, you can find us on our flagship station each and every weeknight, 5 p.m. Central. That is Red Nation Rising Radio, rednationrising.us, powered by conservativeradionetwork.com. You can find us on KLRN. The 405 Media, Sackheads Radio, High Plains Radio, StreamingTalkRadio.com, and IPBN-FM.com. Special thanks to all those guys for including us in their family. It means the world to us, and we're so grateful for that. You can find the show on demand, iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and Google Play. And then each and every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Central on News and Information 570 KLIF right here in Dallas-Fort Worth. If you are outside the Dallas-Fort Worth area, fear not. There are some options. You can get the show on KLIF.com on their streaming player. You can get it on rednationrising.us. They carry the show live, and so does the 405media.com. But in addition to that, you can find it on my Spreaker channel, The Gavin Mitchell Show. Just go to Spreaker.com, search The Gavin Mitchell Show, and it plays live right there on that Spreaker console. So many ways to get a hold of the show. And the reason we do the live show is so that you can pick up the phone and be a part of the program, so we can have a conversation. So each and every Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central is when that happens. So we've talked about this Iran deal over and over and over again, and just how Boeing got involved and bought off Congress, and then the president just rolled his own, has negotiations with terrorists, gives them an avenue to a nuclear weapon. Then we find out that they pay ransom to get our hostages back. We don't negotiate with terrorists, but apparently this president does. And dropping off that money was contingent on the safe release of those hostages. That is ransom money. There's no two ways about it. The balance of the $1.7 million, we paid a $400,000 deposit in unmarked foreign currency, flown in an unmarked plane so nobody would ever find out about it. But the balance was paid, and Congress wants to know, where did that money come from? And the Obama administration is not giving them answers. We have that. We have the Iranians taking 10 sailors hostage at gunpoint, on their knees with their hands over their head, making the women, or a woman, wear a hijab. eating Iran. And then when they release our sailors 24, 48 hours later, John Kerry says, hey, thank you. Thank you. They're launching ballistic missiles. Death to Israel. Death to the U.S. All of that. That's Iran. That's who we're dealing with. And you think the world's not watching. Well, here we go again. Here we go again. This week, 4 vessels from Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which is not part of their formal military. It's a separate entity, but they kind of patrol the area around Saudi Arabia, where Iran and Saudi Arabia gets close. It's close to a U.S. airbase because they don't trust Saudi Arabia and they don't trust us. I wouldn't trust us either if I was Iran. First chance I got, I'd blow them up, but that's just me. Well, we had a destroyer out there cruising at high speed. This is the Nitz, the USS Nitz, Nitze, and I think you pronounce it Nitz. It's doing its thing. 4 of these little high-speed water boats, those blow-up boats is what they look like, start closing in at high speeds, get within 300 yards. It was provoking. It was dangerous. A U.S. official who remained anonymous said it was unsafe and unprofessional. The Iranian high rate of closure created a dangerous, harassing situation that could have led to further escalation, including additional defense measures by NITS. Let me tell you this. It should have happened. Between what Iran's doing and the Russians are doing and the Chinese are doing by taunting us, at some point, you've got to stand up for yourself. At some point, you got to punch the bully in the mouth. Now, there was a time where we were big enough and bad enough, and the world knew we had a leader that wasn't going to put up with this. But we are no longer the big dog on the block, thanks to this president. At some point, you've got to cock that hammer back and pull the trigger. At some point, you got to let them know that America's not soft. And I'm not promoting a war or anything like that. But what I am saying, literally here, is you have to stand up for yourself. You have to quit allowing this. Now, do I think we should actually blow a boat up or shoot a plane down? To me, that's incredibly high risk. I don't know if I would promote that. There's a part of me that kind of wants, yeah, let's do it. But it doesn't make a lot of sense because that would just escalate into something bigger and much worse. But at some point, you do have to stand up for yourself. And the only reason this is happening is because we have the president we have. We have somebody weak and unable to do what he needs to do, that is incapable of leading, that is incompetent, that flat out is a coward. There's no two ways about it. China and Russia and Iran do this because they can. They would have never done this to Ronald Reagan. In fact, the day Ronald Reagan was sworn in, they released the hostages. That tells you all you need to know. You got to walk softly and carry a big stick. And unlike what Joe Biden said, this president doesn't have a big stick. He's a coward. He's weak. He has different things on his mind, and none of his priorities are protecting America and making sure America stays strong. American exceptionalism is a bad phrase to this president. He wants to open our borders. He wants to compromise our culture. He wants to steal your money and redistribute it. He wants to force you to buy health care. And the list goes on and on and on. None of which are, the least of which is not taking your guns away. Every chance he gets, he blames guns. Well, there's a group in Texas, at the University of Texas, that feels like they have come up with a great alternative to defending you, your property, and your family to the firearm. Next.
The Gavin Mitchell Show.
You hear the headlines. You know health insurance is a real mess right now. Premiums have skyrocketed, and in most cases, you're stuck with your plan until open enrollment. But there's a government rule that allows you to qualify for lower health insurance rates if your life has changed. That means if you've changed jobs, if you're having a child, if you're getting married, if you're getting divorced, even if you run a small business or you're self-employed, this law may qualify you to get lower health insurance rates. Call the Health Insurance Hotline today. Learn how this 10-minute call can help you get lower health insurance rates. This is a free service to help consumers learn the laws to help them qualify for lower health insurance rates. So call right now to learn more. 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501, 800-926-4501.
Hey folks, Gavin Mitchell here. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford has been family owned and operated for nearly 50 years, and my family has done business with Jerry for 25 of those. Jerry's proudly built a reputation of working hard to provide their customers with great service and exceptional value. Jerry Chevrolet has hundreds of new trucks in stock, and they are always marked with the absolute lowest price. Come test drive the Chevy Silverado or the Colorado today and get yourself a $25 prepaid Visa gift card for doing it. When you go online at jerrychevytexas.com, Jerry will offer you a $25 prepaid Visa gift card just for stopping in. No purchase necessary. It's as easy as that. If you have a trade-in, Jerry Chevrolet is always looking for quality used cars, and you can go to jerrychevytexas.com today and find out what your vehicle is worth. Find new roads at Jerry Chevrolet in Weatherford and at jerrychevytexas.com. Come out our way and trade your way. Tell them Gavin sent you.
Attention business owners. We know that owning a business means getting things done right now. So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company. General Steel. We can design a building for your business quickly and save you thousands of dollars. That's right, thousands. You may think General Steel only builds large projects or that you can't afford General Steel quality. Well, check these prices. How about a 40 by 60 foot building for under $22,000? Or even a 50 by 100 for under $35,000? That's right, a 5,000 square foot building for under $35,000. And these buildings all have General Steel quality. Best of all, you can still order a building and have it delivered in time to build this year. How's that for right now? So if your right now list includes a new building, call the Right Now Company, General Steel.
800-398-8309, 800-398-8309, 800-398-8309. That's 800-398-8309.
Hey everybody, Gavin Mitchell from The Gavin Mitchell Show here. Of course you can find our show every week on our flagship station, News and Information, 570 AM KLIF, but sometimes once a week just isn't enough. I would encourage you to go out to our website, www.thegavinmitchellshow.com, and there you'll find a plethora of information about the show, including archived episodes of our daily podcast. You'll find a blog written by me and other conservative writers, and entertaining videos that are available with the Gavin Mitchell Experience. I would encourage you to follow us on Twitter at The GM Show. We are on Facebook, facebook.com/The Gavin Mitchell Show. And of course, we are on our flagship station for the internet, conservativeradionetwork.com, with the most talented conservative podcasters in the country. So be sure to tune in Saturdays at 8 p.m. right here on News and Information 570 AM KLIF, or through the week at conservativeradionetwork.com or www.thegavinmitchellshow.com.
If you happen to drive by the studios during a commercial break and you see a guy on the roof waving an American flag, that's our blue-collar doctor of common sense. And now here he is, your host, Dr. Gavin Mitchell.
I am going to do my best to cover this next topic without laughing or any crude jokes, but my gosh, we're walking dangerously close to that line. So, people think Texas is this rip-rock conservative state and everybody is gun-toting, Constitution-loving, church-going people. And why we like to think that as well. We kind of wish that's the way it was. We do have liberals peppered among us, and they seem to have found a home in Austin. Austin is as liberal as they come. It's very, they got a place called Hippie Hollow down in Austin. That should tell you all you need to know. There are shirts running around Texas that say, "Keep Austin weird." Austin is incredibly liberal, and it's no coincidence that the University of Texas is in Austin. And they have their liberal professors shoving liberal doctrine down students' throat, and they're biting hook, line, and sinker. There are some conservatives that hold ground, but not a lot. Well, you couple that with the fact that August 1st, the concealed carry, the campus carry law, took effect. And if you are a public university in the state of Texas, you can designate certain areas that are gun-free zones. But you cannot flat out outlaw concealed carry license holders from carrying their firearm in a concealed manner on campus. Well, the professors are outraged by this, especially at the University of Texas. I mean, they have been more outspoken than anybody. You hear a peep here and there from other public schools in the state of Texas, but the University of Texas just thinks the world, in fact, it was going to be January 1st, 2000 for the university professors. This was Y2K. The world was going to stop spinning August 1st, 2016. Well, it didn't. Well, one of these students that is biting this bait that these liberal professors are putting out there is Anna Lopez, and she decided she was going to launch a protest. And the protest, this rally, was called blank, not Glocks. And she used the word for chicken that rhymes with Glocks. Very classy approach. Very classy. They are going, or did distribute, Wednesday, they did distribute 4,500 dildos. And then she has the audacity to say, "I want this movement to be taken seriously." It's hard for the props not to overshadow the message. The Texas legislature is trying to normalize gun control. We're trying to normalize sex culture. This is something that is completely harmless and represents part of the male anatomy. The narrative surrounding sexuality, or just dildos in this case, and guns are more intertwined than one would expect. Oh, the jokes that are there. And more similarities and seem to unfold every minute. They each have the power to instantly masculate or emasculate at a moment's notice. Some shootings in this past year can even be traced straight back to sexual repression. I would love to see your facts on that. Dildos and guns are in it together for the long haul. I'm just going to ask you a question. If your kid went to the University of Texas and you saw on the news your kid involved in this protest waving a rubber sex toy up in the air, how would you feel? This is absurdity. This is nonsense. And whatever message they're trying to communicate, whatever message they're trying to send out to the world is completely being overshadowed. They're not being taken seriously. In fact, this whole movement is a joke. I can respect somebody saying, "I don't agree with campus carry," and listing off reasons. When you start passing out sex toys, you lose all credibility. This is what the left does. They try to find shock value. They take one little snippet of information and they twist it to fit their narrative. They lie to people. They use misguided facts. And apparently they buy a whole bunch of dildos and pass them out on a college campus. I would argue that this isn't okay. That no matter what they're protesting is not okay. Trying to normalize sex culture. Again, here's the left. If it feels good, do it. This isn't what this is about. And I'll tell you, I'm so ashamed that this is going on in the state of Texas. I'm so ashamed that there are people that I share this great state with that think like this, because this isn't how the majority of Texans feel. This isn't how the majority of Texans behave. This is what the crazy leftists do. And if they want to protest the right to carry your gun, and mind you, that's non-negotiable, carrying a gun. That is a Second Amendment guarantee that you have the right to protect you, your family, and your property. It's non-negotiable. You can try to regulate it out of existence, but it's non-negotiable. So this fit they're throwing, it makes no sense. I don't understand the left sometimes. How do you expect to be taken seriously if this is how you go about it? It baffles me. I'm at a loss for words. It makes no sense. But that's going to do it for today, folks. I got through it without any bad jokes. That's fantastic. In the words of the great Ray Wiley Hubbard, on the days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, well, I have really good days. I hope you have a great day. For the great Ron Phillips, I am Gavin Mitchell. This has been a Pinnacle Broadcast Holdings production. We will see you tomorrow.